Welcome back. Time now to get real about Joe Biden and his connections to China, the Ukraine scandal, all involving his son Hunter, and the media's blatant attempt to help him get elected. I watched both town hall meetings last night, as I hope you did, and frankly, I was appalled. I used to have a lot of respect for Savannah Guthrie, but not anymore. Why? Well, I think it was quite obvious. She approached her job last night not as a moderator between the concerned voters in attendance and the president, but as usual, as an aggressive and yes, even at times an angry Trump hater who spent several minutes at the beginning of the town hall berating the president before she even got to the first question from a voter. Then throughout the night, she would interrupt those voters to interject her own 2 cents. And from her tone and facial expressions, it was apparent to me that she had an agenda. And it was to make our president look bad, which she didn't do. As a seasoned newsman, I also noticed some subtle differences between the two network productions. All right? NBC went with the title Trump Town Hall, and they used weak graphics and okay music. While over on NBC, producers there, oh wow, they called their event The Vice President and the People. They used very soothing patriotic music and even had voiceover montages in between the commercial breaks displaying different parts of the Constitution, Bill of Rights. That led into then softball questions tossed by their moderator, George Stephanopoulos. George, of course, never held the former vice president to task for the Hunter Biden scandal and his connections to China and the Ukraine gas company Burisma. He barely went after Joey on his flip-flopping on fracking, stacking the Supreme Court, and his co-authoring of the disastrous 1994 crime bill. But while I noticed the stark contrast and those subtle differences, did the majority of undecided voters? I can only hope so. I can only hope that you out there see how the mainstream media made a 47-year do-nothing career politician appear to be presidential, giving him every helping hand along the way, all the while the other network did a minimum production and went on the attack. Now, I'm not asking for a moderator to throw softballs at our president. In fact, just the opposite. What's that old phrase that your mom or grandma told you? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So for the love of God, mainstream media, please start doing your job. Hold Joey's feet to the same fire you do with our president. With more and more evidence coming out about Biden's connection to China and the Ukraine scandal, why aren't you digging deeper for us, the American people? This man could very well be a national security risk if he becomes president, but you don't investigate. For nearly 4 years, you've posed that very question about our president. You alleged connections to Russia with President Trump. But now we all know the facts, that it wasn't true. His illegally obtained tax records and new information released about the Russian hoax debunked all of your erroneous claims about Trump. So why don't you do your job and go after Biden with the same veracity and zeal? You might just earn back some of our trust and respect, but don't count on it. After watching last night, it was apparent to me that we can expect more of the same next week when the two men take the stage for the final presidential debate, which will be moderated by an NBC anchor. So while I won't get my hopes up, we can dream, right? This is a country of dreamers. But it's time these big networks get real and try some real journalism. And that's going to do it for our show tonight. Thanks for tuning in to Real America. If you'd like to send me a message, whether it's a compliment or a complaint, here's how you can reach out or nominate someone for our Patriot Report. Hope to see you next week. Same time, same channel, One America News, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. But until then, have a great weekend. Be proud, be safe, and God bless.